Hey, it's Greg at the Vinyl Arms. Congratulations, Cam, at Cam's Vinyl Narrative. He's been making these videos for 1 year now. So a big shout out, great videos, really informative. He's got a great broad selection of musical tastes. So always enjoyable to watch his videos. And he's doing a thread celebrating his first year, and he's calling it the bright side of the shelf. And what he's asked us to do is put together 5 albums, show 5 albums that have yellow covers. So I've got quite a few albums that have yellow covers that I'd just love to talk about. So I thought I'd jump on this. So thank you, Cam, for setting the ball rolling. So without further ado, this is quite a heavy selection of music as well. I've gone for a heavy theme today. So we're going to kick off with a bit of thrash metal. And you can't beat these lot. Anthrax, State of Euphoria. Now this is an early Anthrax album. This is from 1988. They were really, finding their feet at this point and, putting together some really hard-hitting, fast-paced thrash music. I love this caricature of the band here on the back, and what I like about Anthrax, and there's lots of great thrash bands out there, but Anthrax kind of were always my favourite. Have always been my favourite. And I think it's because they don't take themselves too seriously. And that comes across with a lot of their songs. They're not afraid to have a bit of a laugh and a joke. And that, I love that about the band. And there's some great songs on this one, some really great songs on this one. Make Me Laugh is classic, and Antisocial, which is a cover of a French band from the early 1980s. Their name escapes me right now. Trust. It's a cover of a band called Trust. Now, an interesting sidestep from that album. Oh, this is the inner sleeve as well. And there's the lads there looking mischievous, planning their next prank. And as a sidestep to that album, you can also get this EP, which also has Antisocial on. It was a European released 6-track EP, and this version is the French version. So that's well worth the listen if you can get your hands on that one. Any excuse to talk about Soundgarden, and Down on the Upside from 1996, I think it is. Yeah, 1996. Kicks off with the rip-roaring Pretty Noose, which is as good as any Soundgarden track out there. And this is a wonderful album. It's a big album. You've got a double vinyl, and every track is. I mean, the lads were at the peak of the powers. You've got Matt Cameron on drums, Kim Thayil on guitar, Ben Shepherd on bass, and Chris Cornell on vocals. And they were just at the peak of the powers on this album. But as history has proven, they were about to implode because they didn't make another album after this one for a long, long time. I think this just took it out of them. But you've got a massive collection of songs here. To name a few, obviously Pretty Noose, which I mentioned, Dusty, Blow Up the Outside World, Burden in My Hand, Applebite, Tighter and Tighter, Overfloater, Ends in Boot Camp. It's just a massive record, this. I had a little cheeky look on Discogs, and it's frightening what this is worth now. I mean, I bought this back in the day, but this clear vinyl version seems to be incredibly rare. I think if I read somewhere that they sold something ridiculous, like 175,000 copies of this album in the first week in America. I'd have to check that, but I'm pretty sure about that. And there was only 1,500 of the clear vinyl version, so it's probably not surprising that it's pretty hard to find these days. Right, so keeping sort of with the grunge alternative scene of the 90s, this was a great album. L7 Bricks Are Heavy. An American band, straight out of the grunge scene that was emerging. These were on Slash Records, label mates with Faith No More. And this has got some big tunes on as well. You've got Scrap, which is a really fun track. Pretend We're Dead, which was probably the song that kind of broke them over here in the UK. I remember it getting a release as a single. I remember getting the little 7-inch single on red vinyl. And that was my first sort of introduction to them. Diet Pill is a big song. Slides, really catchy. Mr. Integrity, Monster, and a personal favourite of mine, Shit List. But an absolutely classic sort of grunge band. 4 girls who really know how to rock and party by the looks of this inner sleeve. They're not afraid to have a laugh themselves. Really good album, really strong album. Again, from the 90s. Now, I mentioned they were label mates with Faith No More on Slash Records, and I actually saw L7 live supporting Faith No More at Sheffield Arena back in the 90s. Brilliant gig. They were really good openers for a great band as well. They didn't shy from that. And so obviously the singer of Faith No More is a guy called Mike Patton, who is just a genius vocally. He's got a massive vocal range, and he's been in lots of different bands, including Faith No More and Fantomas and various other side projects. He does a lot of solo material as well, but he was also with this supergroup, Tomahawk, and this is a cracking album, Oddfellows. There's a song on this called Stone Letter. Just go listen to that on YouTube. I mean, it's as catchy as hell. It's heavy, it's hard-hitting, but it's absolutely bloody brilliant. And this features Mike Patton, Dwayne Dennison, John Stainer, and Trevor Dunn. So you got some real heavyweights of the American alternative scene there, coming from bands like Faith No More, Jesus Lizard, Melvins. I mean, it's a really who's who, super group, if you like. And this is an absolute fabulous listen. It's pretty intense, as you'd expect, but if you're in that mood, you can't beat it. Really nice labels as well on this one. I'll just quickly show off the label. You've got this kind of little worm sticking his tongue out at you, which is quite nice. So yeah, go check out Stone Letter. And finally, number 5, to wrap up Cam's bright covers. I'm actually debating now, I'm looking at this, whether this is actually yellow or orange. But it's bright, and it's Superchunk, Tossing Seeds. Now, this is a collection of their early singles and EPs from the early 90s. I actually picked this up. This was a record store day purchase, this was, maybe 4 or 5 years ago. I mean, it was really originally released in 1991. 2016, this might have come out, actually, looking at this. And you've got some classic songs on here. You've got Fishing, which is well worth checking out. The Bread Man and Cast Iron, which was a side A, side B, double 7-inch single, which I do have on 7-inch single, and it's just the best 7-inch single you're ever going to listen to. You've got It's Hard to Fall in Love, Brand New Love, Slack Motherfucker, Train from Kansas City. Just so many classic tunes of theirs from their initial Merge record days, when they were finding their way in the early days. So, Cam, massive congratulations for doing this for a year. I really have been enjoying your channel. Thank you for organising this thread. If you've not seen Cam's channel, check it out. Go have a look when you get 5 or 10 minutes, because you won't be disappointed. See you, everybody. Take care. Bye.